Okay, question number 7. SAP Limited, which sells 4 products, some of them unprofitable, proposes to discontinue the sale of one of them. The following information is available regarding income, cost, and activity for the year. Particulars A, B, C, D. 4 products, sales given, purchase price, basically direct cost, area of storage, number of parcel sent, number of invoices sent. Details are given to you. Its overhead cost and basis of apportionment is also given. Expenses, amount, and basis for allocation is also given to you. Rent and insurance, depreciation, salesman salary, administrative salary. Here you have the amount and here you have all the details. Packing wages and material 20 paise per parcel. By the way, number of parcels are available here. If you multiply with that 20 paise into this, you get the packing related cost. Commission 4% of sales. Sales is anyway given here. Just multiply this into 4%. Stationery 10 paise per invoice. Number of invoices you have, just multiply that by 10 paise. They want you to prepare a profit and loss statement showing percentage of profit or loss to sales for each product. Now, end of the answer I should get profit or loss. Correct? That we have understood. For that we have to start from income, which is sales income. Do we have sales in the question? Yes sir. First item only you have. Okay, good. So first you will take sales. From that you will deduct purchase. And then you have to consider all these items. These three anyway straight away given. 20 paise per parcel. Number of parcel into 0.2. You will get the answer. 4% of sales. Sales into 4%. 10 paise per invoice, number of invoice into 0.1, which is 10 paise, you will get the answer. What about these 4? Rent, they said square feet ratio. Where is square feet ratio? Here I am circling in blue. So 30,000 rupee will get distributed in the ratio of 5483. Correct? Second. Depreciation, they said equal ratio 10,000 divided by 4 products. So equally 2,500 will go to all 4 products. Correct? Next, salesman salary, they are saying sales volume, but the problem is we don't have volume in the question. See here, this is sales in rupee. Volume means quantity. You need quantity. Now some students may say, sir, you can go by parcel sent. That's not correct, because in one parcel you may have 5 units. One parcel may be of only 1 unit, maybe even of 10 units. Correct? Suppose one customer who is far away from our place, he says, please send it via parcel. I want 10 units. Send it in a parcel. Now 10 units will go in one parcel. So it is not preferable to go by number of parcels. So number of parcels cannot be understood as number of units. So that is not volume. Then sir, can we go by number of invoice? No, in one invoice you can have 10 items. Correct? So in the absence of correct base, see you have purchase price, area. This is also not correct basis. So in the absence of correct base, you can give a note and say that though it says sales volume, as sales volume is not available, we can distribute it in sales value ratio only. Correct? Now some of us may argue that sir, that is also not a correct basis, but that is the most appropriate basis, because suppose if the selling price is 10 rupee, 8 rupee, 5 rupee, 3 rupee, correct? And if you do sales rupee divided by selling price, you will get the quantity. So in a way, if number of units go up, sales value also will go up. So that is the easily, digestible according to me. I know that that is not 100% correct. I know some students will have this doubt. They may say, sir, I think parcel is a better basis. I can't accept your argument that sales in rupee is a better basis. I gave you the reason also. It may so happen that in one parcel 10 units may go. Correct? It may so happen that in one invoice 5 items may be sold. But when sales rupee is going up, that means sales unit also should have gone up, assuming that selling price has not changed during the year. More units I sell, more value will be there. correct, assuming that the selling price is same. So out of three bases, we can argue one is better than the other. That's why I said easily digestible one is sales in rupee. I am not saying sales in, number of parcels or number of invoice is totally wrong basis. I am only saying sales in rupee is a better logical base than the other two. Clear? So let us give a note and do it in that ratio. Next one, admin salary. They have given number of invoices. Number of invoices anyway you have, you can just apportion in this ratio. Okay. Now, sir, why is this question under activity based costing? This is very simple or general question. We can just write particulars ABCD. Sales given, purchase given, all these items basis for allocation is also given. We can distribute all the number in ratio only. We don't have to do the working note of ABC rate. Correct, computation of ABC rate is not necessary. I can just distribute everything in ratios, sir. No problem. No problem. You can present it in the format of ratios also. But when you do that, keep in mind, don't copy now. Don't copy. Just give me a minute. You will have to present it this way. So your income statement, don't write now. Listen, income statement. So you will then have particulars and then basis. And then you will have four products A, B, C, D. Then you will write sales. In basis it will be written as given, purchase price also given, and all other items. Rent you write, basis you show the ratio here. They are saying, I am reading from question, rent 10,000 will be in square feet ratio. What is the square feet ratio? 50, 40, 80, 30. That means here you write 5:4:8:3. Here in bracket you write the total amount. Do it in that ratio. So you actually don't need to do the working note of ABC rate computation. Correct? Now some students might say, sir, this looks more like our overhead allocation and apportionment. Production department, service department, P1, P2, P3, S1, S2, rent in area ratio. That means you know how to present the answer. Correct? So though it is activity based costing chapter question, it can be asked even under overhead chapter. Got it? Yes. So we can present it in ratio. No compulsion that you have to have the ABC rate working note just because the question is under activity based costing. Clear? Right. Let's see what is asked in the question. Finally, what is that they want from us? Profit or loss. That means we can present it something like this. A, B, C, D, particulars and basis. Sales minus purchase minus overheads. 1, 2, 3, 4, all 7. Keep deducting all those items. Finally, you will have the profit or loss. And did they ask you which product to continue, which product to discontinue? No. Though you observe, initial paragraph they started with this line, some products are unprofitable, they're proposing to discontinue, etc. But later what they asked us to do is only to prepare profit and loss statement. They did not ask your advice. Correct? So don't unnecessarily get into that. Sometimes they will ask you comment about the result, comment about the profitability. In that case, you will have to write the comment. I've already taken 2-3 problems where I discussed how to write comment. If they ask, then only write. Otherwise, writing comment is not necessary. Clear? Let us start. Here it is, question number 7. Main answer directly, statement of profit or loss, particulars column, then base, second column, that's very important, then 4 products A, B, C, D. Start with sales. What is already given in the base, you just write as given. That's it. 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 2 lakh 50,000, 4 lakh 50,000. Minus purchase price, which is also given. Yeah, minus 2 lakh. 4 lakh 50,000 negative, 2,10,000, 225,000, right, minus 1 by 1, that is overheads. In that first one, rent, yes, here you write the amount in particulars column only, 30,000. And what is the ratio? They said square feet ratio. Square feet ratio in the question is 5483, correct? Go to the first table, third line item, 5483. So 5:4:8:3. Yes, now 30,000 into 5 by 20, that is 7,500. This is 6,000, 12,000, 4,500. Done. Next, depreciation, 10,000 rupee. They said equal ratio, so write as 1:1:1:1. Simple. So 2,500 will go to all 4 products. Next, salesman salary, 60,000. They are saying sales volume ratio, but I told you we don't have sales volume ratio, therefore I am going by sales in rupee ratio. I will give a note later. So here you write note below, yeah, and sales value ratio will be what? 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 2.5 lakh, 4.5 lakh. So I can keep it as 3:5:2.5:4.5. So 3, 5, 2.5 and 4.5. Yes, 12,000, 20,000, 10,000, 18,000. Just recheck once. Looks correct to me. Which is the next item I have? Admin salary. Admin salary is 50,000. And they're saying number of invoice ratio. Go to the first table, last item in the first table I'm reading. Number of invoices sent is 80,000, 140,000, 60,000, 120. So 8:14:6:12. 8, 14, 6 and 12. Okay. 10,000. Next, 17,500. Next number is 7,500. Last number 15,000. All right, chalo. Next, item E, packing wages, and it is given in the question as 20 paise per parcel. So here you write 0.2 per parcel. Now you multiply number of parcels, 1 lakh into 0.2, correct, 20,000. Next, 1,50,000 into 0.2, 30,000. Next, 75,000 into 0.2. last one is 1,75,000 into 0.2. Next, commission, clearly given 4% of sales. So whatever sales number that you have in the first table, first item, 3 lakh rupee, on that 4%, 12,000, 5 lakh into 4%, 20,000, 2,50,000 into 4%, 10,000. Last one, 4,50,000 into 4%, 18,000. Right. Last item is stationery, EFG. Yeah. Stationery cost is 10 paise per invoice. So put it as 0.1 per invoice. Right. How many invoices given in the first table? Last line. So 80,000. So 80,000 into 0.1 will be 8,000. 1,40,000 into 0.1 will be 14,000. 0.1 means 1 0 less. So whatever number of invoice, 1 0 less. So 1,40,000 I am rating as 14,000. Yeah. So 60,000 will be 6,000. 1,20,000 will be 12,000. I think with this we are done with all the items. So the difference now will be profit or loss, and I'll just go back to the question. They said profit or loss statement showing percentage of profit also, so they want even percentage to sales, correct? So next line, profit or loss percentage of sales. So whatever profit number you get here, divide that by sales into 100, you get the answer in percentage as well. Right, chalo, let me do it in calculator. You also do it. 3 lakh minus 2 lakh minus 7,500 and so on. Do it. First one, I'm getting 28,000 profit positive. So divide that by sales, which is 3 lakh, into 100, you will get 9.33%. Okay. Second one, start from 5 lakh minus 4,50,000 minus 6,000 minus 2,500 minus 60,000, basically loss. Divide that by 5 lakh into 100, it is 12% negative. 12% on sales. You have to divide it by sales because question says profit or loss to sale in the question. Chalo, next one is product C, 2,50,000 minus 2,10,000 minus 12,000 minus 2,500 minus 10,000, 7,500 minus 15,000 minus 10,000 minus 6,000. So negative 23,000. Divide that by 2,50,000 into 100. I'm getting 9.2% negative. Yes. Last one, 4,50,000 minus 225,000 minus all of this. I have 1,20,000 profit. Divide that by 4,50,000 into 100, 26.66% profit. They have not asked you whether to continue or discontinue. So don't get into writing comment etc etc. Question is only to calculate profit or loss, also in percentage, so you have to do that percentage extra. Sometimes they say profit as a percentage to total cost, right? That time you know what to do, sales and then profit or loss, if you adjust you will get the balancing figure as cost, so profit or loss divided by cost into 100. Here in this question last line clearly says profit or loss on sales, so I did profit or loss on sales only. Got it? Right. I think with this we have completed the answer. There is nothing else that they have asked, so I can say with that we are done. Alright. By the way, all questions that I solved so far is for 10 marks. So ABC mainly you can expect a 10 marks question. If they ask for 5 marks, it will be only to calculate ABC rate. They may say work out only ABC rates, don't prepare income statement, don't calculate profit, don't find out total cost, just to find out ABC rate. So 4 or 5 activities, 4 or 5 cost driver volumes, 4 or 5 overhead departments cost pools they may give, ask you to just to do the working note, not the entire answer, which is very less. The chances of such questions very less. 10 marks with both LHR or MHR and ABC is what is most expected question. Chalo, question number 8 now. A manufacturing organization has 4 different customers A, B, C, D. Data is given for cost per unit of business activity. You are required to prepare customer profitability statement information on 4 customers given below. Customer A, B, C, D. Number of units sold. The selling should actually come here. Yeah. Selling price net of discount. Net of discount. That means discount is already deducted. And then this is number of sales visits. I think all these are to be adjusted a bit. Yeah. Just give me 1 second. I'll see if there is a mistake in printing. Okay, I think I will just have to correct this. Just give me 1 minute. So this is number of units, and we will write it here. All of you, I'm writing here. So this is number of units, and this is selling price, and this is number of sales visit, and this is number of purchase orders, and this is number of deliveries, and then this is kilometer per journey. Last one is number of rush deliveries. Okay, let's go by what I have written here. Number of units, selling price. If you want, just make a note. Number of units, selling price, number of sales visits, then number of purchase orders, then number of deliveries. Next one, kilometer per journey, then number of rush deliveries. Okay, yes. Cost of each activity. Sales visit, every visit will cost you 210 rupee. Order placing, every order will cost you 60 rupee. Product handling 0.10, that is 10 paise per unit or per item. Normal delivery cost is 2 per kilometer. This is important. Rush delivery cost 200 per delivery. This is easy, but normal delivery cost is 2 per kilometer. How are we going to calculate it? See, for A, How many deliveries are you going to do this row? 10 deliveries you are going to do for A, correct? Can I just do 10 into 2? No, you can't do, because this is 2 per kilometer and this 10 is 10 deliveries. 10 deliveries, correct. Now how to do? 10 deliveries you have to make, and journey, kilometer per journey is 20 kilometers. So if you multiply this by 20 kilometers, you will get 200 kilometers. 10 deliveries, and every time I have to go deliver the product and come back, distance is 20 kilometers. So that means you are going to travel for 200 kilometers, and that you should multiply by 2 rupees. So 200 kilometer into 2 rupees will be 400 rupees, correct? I will do it for product B, customer B. Those who could not understand, follow now. You have to do 15 deliveries, correct? And distance, that is kilometer that you're going to travel. Journey means going and coming. It's not one way. Going and coming together is 30 kilometers. That means how to calculate for B. 15 times I have to go and come, and I will be traveling 30 kilometer for every journey. Journey means going and coming, and that will be 15 into 3. 15 into 3 is 15 into 30 is 450 kilometers, and that will be into 2 rupee, because 2 is per kilometer. 450 into 2 will be 900 rupees. This will go to my income statement. Got it? Sir, what about rush delivery? Rush delivery, they said 200 per delivery. They did not say per kilometer. How many rush deliveries? 0 and 0 for first 2. Here 1 and 2. So simply 1 into 200, 2 into 200. That is easy. That is straight simple. Only thing where you may get confused is normal delivery cost. Right. What is asked in the question, by the way? It's, I think, in the first paragraph. Yeah. You are required to prepare customer-wise profitability statement. That's it. That means you have to start from sales. Selling quantities with you, selling prices with you. If you multiply, you get sales. Direct cost like purchase price or cost of goods is not given. So you will directly deduct all these other expenses. Okay. You will finally get profit or loss. Clear? Shall we start? Everybody, question number 8. Question number 8. Start with the heading. One second. Yes. Customer profitability statement. Customer profitability statement. Particulars A, B, C, D. I don't think I even need basis here, because everything is straight simple, correct? First, sales. How many units? 60,000 into selling price 25 paise. Multiply that, you get sales value. Repeat this for B, C and D. 80,000 into 0.23, 1 lakh into 0.21, 70,000 into 0.22. Done. Next. You don't have any direct cost, so straight away start deducting all indirect expenses. Sir, where do we have indirect expenses? If you see the first table, that's all the information. That's not cost. Cost is all there after the table. First one is sales visit cost. Start from there. Minus sales visit cost. They're saying 210 per visit. And how many sales visit? That's all there in your table itself. Let me go back here. I'll just erase this part. Yeah. Sales visit data is here. Number of sales visit 2, 4, 6, 3. So you will do 2 into, what's the cost? 210. Here 4, here 6, here 3. So everywhere into 210. Yes. 420, 840, 1260, 630. Which is the next item? Order placing cost. And what are they saying? 60 per order. So everything into 60. Correct? How many orders? Go back to the question. Purchase orders are here. 30, 20, 40, 20. 30, 20, 40, 20. Here it is. 30, 20, 40, 20. Yes, multiply. All numbers are ready. Basic multiplication. No apportionment, no ratio, nothing. Yes. Next item. Product handling. It says 0.10 per item. That means you're going to multiply number of units into 0.1. How many units? That is there in the first table, first item here. 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh and 70,000. Copy these numbers. 60,000, 80,000, 1 lakh, 70,000. This will be 6,000, 8,000, 10,000, 7,000. Done. Next. Which is the next item that I have. I'll go back to the question. Let me just erase this. Yeah. Sales visit done, order placing done, product handling done. Then normal delivery cost 2 per kilometer. And I've already told you how to do this. You need to get number of deliveries, that is here. Correct? And then kilometer. So you have to first multiply these two. You will get total kilometers. Multiply that by 2 rupees. Okay, so it is 10, 15, 25, 14. That is number of deliveries. 20, 30, 10, 50 is kilometer. Let me do it. The main answer. This is normal delivery cost. 10 into 20. This will give me kilometer into 2 rupees. Are you following? 10 deliveries into 20 kilometers into 2 rupees. Same way, 15 into 30 into 2. Next, 25 into 10 into 2. Everywhere into 2. 2 per kilometer. Yes. 14 into 50 into 2. Simple. 400. 900. 500. 1,400. Simple. Rush delivery cost. Rush delivery cost. 0 and 0 for first and second. And then what is given in the question? 200 per rush delivery. How many rush deliveries for customer C? Only one. Customer D, 2. So it will be 1 into 200. Correct? And this is 2 into 200. Very simple. Minus 400. Done. I think with this I have completed all the cost items. This will give you profit or loss. Now just a simple calculator work. Let me do it. 15,000 minus 420 minus 1,800 minus 6,000 minus 400. 6380 profit. Next, second customer 18400, that is sales, minus 840 minus 1200 minus 8000 minus 900, 7460. Next, third customer 21,000 minus 1260 minus 2400 minus 10,000 minus 500 minus 200, 6640. Next one, last customer 15,400 minus 630 minus 1200 minus 7,000 minus 1,400 minus 400, 4770. Done. Did they ask you to show profit percentage? Let me go back to the question. In question, they said you are required to prepare customer profitability statement. That's all. That means here is the end of the answer. They have not asked you percentage. You don't have to write. Got it? Sometimes they can just give one extra adjustment to this question. Okay? Please focus on what I am discussing. Answer is over anyway. Listen now. Here, number of units was given, selling price net of discount was given. That means original selling price was not 25 paise. Maybe it was 30 paise. They gave 5 paise discount and now it is 25 paise. That is why they said net of discount. Sometimes what they may do in exam, same table, same question, they can just add one more adjustment. What adjustment? I'll just write it here. They can give list selling price and then give actual selling price. List selling price, actual selling price. Here 25 paise is your actual selling price, correct? They may give this as 30 paise, 25 paise, and this is 25 paise, 23 paise. Getting what I'm saying? List price means the price that is listed in the system, in their accounting software, the decided, pre-decided. But because some customers are negotiating, you may give some discount. Yeah. So list price is the original price listed in their system. Then this is 25 paise, this is 21 paise, this is some 30 paise, 22 paise. Now what to do? When you prepare profitability statement, you will anyway take the actual selling price, not the listed price. You will take this only, like what I did just now. Actual selling price after deducting discount only you will take. But what if they ask you to write one comment as one more question? Was the discount good decision? Then what to do in that case? You will have to calculate how much have we lost because of discount. How to calculate, sir? 30 paise is list price, 25 paise is actual price. That means discount given is 0.5 paise. Like this here, 0.2, here also 0.4. So on you can find out the discount given. If you multiply the discount by number of units in this question is 60,000. So now 60,000 units into 0.5, 60,000 units into you are giving 50 paise discount. 30,000 rupees is gone in just giving discount, correct? And because of discount, go to my main answer. Here 6380 profit you have. Suppose if you have to show even the impact of discount, then because of discount only you would have lost 30,000 rupee. 50 paise discount, not 50 paise, no, I think 5 paise. Did I do a mistake? 1 second. 30 paise, yeah, sorry. This is not 50 paise, this is 5 paise. 0.05. Yeah. Now 0.05 into this will be 10 less. Correct. 3,000 rupee loss. 3,000 rupee loss because of discount. Now here what will happen, 6,380 is what you are getting as of now, but 3,000 is the discount that you are giving. Like this you will get the discount for all of this. What if discount given to customer D, the last customer, what if the discount amount itself is 5,000? Now what will be your conclusion? This customer is actually going to give me profit only and only if I sell at list price. The moment I give him discount, the discount will be much more than the profit that you will get, correct? And then you will say in your conclusion, in your comment, that because of discount, we are losing whatever is the difference, 230 or something that you get. Because of the discount we are getting loss. That means your suggestion would be, for customer A, B and C we can sell after giving discount, but customer D we should tell him that brother, no more discount, please buy at our selling price, list selling price only. If they ask you to write the comment, then in the question they will give you both list price and selling price after discount. Then you have to see how much is the discount and how much is the profit after giving the discount, and then you see whether giving discount was a good decision or not. Clear? If they ask you, then only do that. Otherwise what I have done is more than enough. Clear? If they ask you, then the question will be something like this: explain or what are the advantages of disclosing the income statement with and without discount. Then you will write a comment saying, because of discount only one customer is giving loss to the company, whereas other 3 customers, even with the discount, they are giving us profit. So because of we showing before discount, after discount, we now got to know which customer is actually profitable to the company and now non-profitable because of discount decision. So next time when he comes, you cannot say, sir, we can't do rush delivery, we can't do delivery of product to you, please come and collect. This may not be possible, but you can tell him that, sorry sir, we can't give discount, you'll have to buy at fixed price. Fixed price is not 22 paise, it is 25 paise. No bargaining. If you are buying at 25 paise, we are ready to sell. If you want discount, we are sorry, because we know as businessman, we know because of discount only we are losing money. Understanding? If they ask you, then only you'll have to write this in comment. Done? Okay. Let's go back. I think I have completed all the problems from my side. I normally include part B in my book, which will have old RTP, MTP questions and question paper problems. For all homework problems, I have given even answer to you. So after watching this video, you can sit and practice these problems. Okay, right, let's see. SMP Private Limited manufactures 3 products using 3 machines. At present, overheads are charged to product using labor hours. That means they are following what method? Correct, LHR. The following statement for the month of September is given: product X, product Y, product Z, units, material cost, labor cost, overhead, total cost and selling price. All the basic data is given here. Next, the following additional information is available relating to overhead cost drivers. Product given, total given, machine setup, orders, number of customers. Everything is given to you properly in the table. Next, this para is very important. Actual production and budgeted production for the month is same. That means how many units did we produce? Here I am circling 45,000, 52,500, 30,000. Okay. Workers are paid at standard rate. What does it mean? You are paying 80 rupee per hour and cost is 240 rupees. Please observe. 240 rupee is what you are paying for 1 unit of product X, and salary is standard 80 rupee per hour. That means if you do 240 by 80, you will get 3 hours. 400 by 80, you will get 5 hours. 560 by 80, 7 hours. That means you can find out time like this, because I said 80 is standard to everybody. See here. Are you following? Next. Out of total overheads, 30% is related to machine setup, 30% is customer order processing, and balance is related to customer complaint management. This is 30, this is 30. That means balance should be understood as correct 40%. All that is okay. But how much is total overheads? How to find out? Sir, you can go to the first table. Okay. There, sir, overheads are given here per unit 240, 400, 560. Correct. Sir, number of units are also given. Sir, if you just multiply 45,000 into 240, you will get overhead for product X. Same way you can do it for Y. Same way you can do for Z, and add all of that. You will get total overhead. No, sir. Perfect. Did you understand? Number of units into overhead cost per unit. Following, you will get overhead for product X. Same way product Y. Same way product Z. Add all the three, you get total overhead. Out of the total overhead, 30% is related to setup. For that, machine setup is the cost driver. 30% is related to customer order processing, number of customer order. Balance is related to complaint management based on number of customers. Simple. Right. Compute overhead cost per unit using ABC. Straight away they said do it under ABC. Also determine the selling price of each product based on ABC with the same profit markup on cost. Now they want you to fix the selling price. For selling price you have to first find out cost. Cost means what? Sir, material cost, labor cost, overhead cost. Overhead cost will come from activity based costing, which is there in step A, sub question A. What about material and labor? Sir, that is given. Where is it given? Sir, in the first table. Material cost and labor cost, sir. Okay, where is it? In green, I am circling. Observe here, material cost is given, labor cost per unit is also given. So material given, labor given, overhead you will find out using ABC. So material plus labor plus overhead, you will get total cost per unit. They want you to fix the price. That means you will have to add profit. How much should be the profit? They are saying same profit markup on cost. What do you mean by same? Sir, go back to first table. Okay. If I go back to first table, here, sir, you have, I'm sorry, one second. Yeah. Here, sir, you already have cost per unit. You already have selling price. Difference between selling price and cost will be profit. Correct? How much is that? 1037.5 minus 830. That will be 207.5 profit. And profit per unit, that means, profit as a percentage on cost. So 207.5, if you divide by 830, then multiply by 100, you will get 25% on cost. Are you following? I repeat, selling price is given here. Cost is given here. Selling price minus cost will give you profit per unit. That profit divided by cost, if you do into 100, you will get in percentage, and that is what they want you to do. Read here. Determine the selling price of each product on activity based costing with same profit markup on cost. Same means you should first find out the base. Same percentage you apply. Getting it? You have the answer with you. First they have calculated total overhead 486,000,000. They have done it this way. Production in units. They could have directly done production in units into overhead cost per unit, but they did hours, labor hours. I told you how they got. Then they said total hours, and then rate per hour, and then they have got it. You can do it in an easier way. Number of units you multiply by overhead cost per unit and add all three, you will get the same number, 4,86 lakh. Okay. Then they said out of 486, 30% is setup cost, 30% order processing, 40% balance. The number is here. 145.80, 145.80, 194.40. You have to divide that by cost driver. Correct? For setup, machine setup, number of customer orders, and then number of customers, they got ABC rate or cost per cost driver. And then they have done computation of overhead cost. See here, first machine setup rate, and then they got machine setup cost. then purchase orders, rate, and then they got ordering cost, order processing cost. Then number of customers, cost driver rate, so complaint management. Then they added all the three. You see here A plus B plus C, they got the total, divided by number of units, they got cost, but this is only overhead cost per unit. See here. Then they said, look, material labor is anyway given. Material labor is given, overhead we have calculated, and profit percentage I showed you how they got. I would suggest you don't directly write 25%. You do this as one more working note. Okay, it's not correct to directly write 25%. You have to first calculate, show that as one working note, and then use that 25% on cost. So cost plus profit will be your selling price. Doable? Yes. Anyway, answer is with you. After the class you can do it. Let's see one more problem. Question number 2. MST Limited has collected the following data for its 2 activities. It calculates activity cost rates based on cost driver capacity. Okay. Power cost, quality inspection cost. Cost driver is also given, capacity is given, amount is also given. Good. The company makes 3 products, M, S and T. For the year ended 31st March, the following details etc. is given. M, S and T kilowatt hours, that is here, this number, and then quality inspection, that is here. That means very simple, 2 overheads, 2 cost drivers, cost driver volume is also given. But one thing you must observe here. What? Look at the capacity numbers. This is 50,000 kilowatts. But if you add all the 3, unlike the problems that we have done so far, if you add 10 plus 20 plus 15, you will get 45,000, correct? But total should be 50,000. That means somewhere there is 5,000 kilowatt which is not used. Are you following? I repeat, in all the problems what used to happen, the total which is given in the question would be normally equal to total of all the products, number of orders, number of setups. If I add all the 3, I used to get, but here I am not getting it. That means there is some unused capacity. Sir, is it same even for inspections? Just check. 10,000 inspections, but if you do this total, 3,500 plus 2,500 plus 3,000 is coming to 9,000. Whereas total is 10,000, there is 1,000 inspections unused. There is some unused capacity. That is why you see your second sub question, calculate the cost of unused capacity. If they are asking this, that means there is some unused capacity, right? When you do your calculation, it will be based on budgeted capacity only. That means you will do 40 lakh by 50,000 only, because costing is all estimation. And estimation is based on your budgeted capacity. Actually you are consuming less, that means there is some unused capacity, correct? This is your actuals and this is your budget. All estimations are based on budgeted factors only, correct? So first you will do statement showing cost allocation. Easy. What is cost allocation here? 40 lakh rupee divided by 50,000 kilowatts. You will get cost driver rate or ABC rate. Same way, 60 lakh rupee divided by 10,000 inspections, you will get one more ABC rate. And then you know how many kilowatts, just multiply this into 10,000, this into 10,000, this into, 10, 20, 15,000. Here whatever you get, multiply. That's it. That's it. See how it is done. See this. Power and quality. Quality inspection. Here they said refer working note, and working note is here. 40 lakh by 50,000, 80. So they have taken 80 everywhere and they have multiplied by kilowatt. Same way here, 60 lakh by 10,000, 600. They have taken 600 everywhere. Multiply that by number of inspections. And when you do the total, 36 lakh and 54 lakh. But in the question, if you see this number, power is 40 lakh. And quality is 60 lakh. Now 40 lakh was budgeted, 36 lakh is actual. That means difference 4 lakh is unused capacity cost. Are you following? 40 lakh was budgeted cost, whereas actual is only 36 lakh. That means the difference is unused capacity. 40 lakh minus 36 lakh is 4 lakh. You see here. Same way. Second one, that is inspection or quality inspection, 60 lakh budgeted, 54 lakh actual, the difference 6 lakh is unused capacity. Add both, that's the total of unused capacity. Simple, very simple. Just because you see a new word in exam, unused capacity, you shouldn't worry. Simple. Normally in ABC, total of the individual products will be equal to the total of the company. In this question, that is not happening. That means total of the company was budgeted, total of the actuals is not matching, the difference is unused capacity. Simple. Don't think it is some new adjustment or new kind of a problem. Normally total used to match. If it is not matching, then there is unused capacity. That's all right. Let's see next problem. G2020 Limited is a manufacturer of range of goods. The cost structure of its different product is given to you. Product A, B and C. Particulars: material cost, labor cost, overheads, total cost, number of units. All details are properly given. G2020 was absorbing overhead on the basis of labor hours. That means so far they were following LHR method. A newly appointed management accountant has suggested that the company should introduce ABC system and he has identified the cost drivers and cost pools. Good. He says there are 4 activities, 4 cost pools or 4 departments: stores, receiving, inspection, dispatch and setup. Here you have associated cost also, that is amount in rupees. Cost drivers also they have given. What more you want? Everything is properly there in the table. Correct. Sir, cost drivers they have given. They should tell us, no sir, how many requisitions, how many runs, how many orders. That is also given, don't worry. Third table, following information is also supplied to you. Product ABC, number of setup, number of orders executed, number of runs and number of purchase requisitions. Everything is properly given. This is the easiest question if you ask me. You are required to calculate activity based production cost of all 3 products. They did not ask LHR based. How to do? First you will have to do working notes. Correct. In that you will calculate ABC rate for all of this. What will you do? This is all your numerator. 2,96,000 is numerator. What should be the denominator? Purchase requisition total. Where do you have purchase requisition? Here. If you add all of this, whatever you get, this is your denominator. Like this everywhere. Correct. I will just mark in blue. Just follow. Listen to me. This is your first overhead. Stores, receiving. This is your first denominator. Correct. Second, production runs. For that, number of production runs given here. Correct. Orders executed. Number 3. Orders executed. Number 3. Then number of setups. Normally production run and setup will be one and the same, but in this question if they have given setup separately, production run separately, you take it separately. That's it. So you will do the working note to calculate ABC rates, and then you will use that 360 into the rate, 390 into the rate, 450 into the rate. Correct. You will do it for all 4 and then you will get the total overheads. Correct. And what is asked in the question? Calculate activity based production cost. Production cost is not only overhead. You need material, labor and then overhead. For overhead, all this circus, the working note, etc., etc. What about material and labor? Sir, we know now. It should be given in the question. Perfect. Go to the first table. Material and labor is already given. Okay, sir, then what is this production overhead, sir? This is all based on their present practice. See here, G2020 was absorbing production overhead on the basis of LHR. That means this is the number that they've already got based on LHR. They don't want this again. They want you to calculate the ABC cost, ABC based cost per unit and take that in your answer. So material and labor given in the question, overhead you will calculate from your working note. Add all of that, you will get cost per unit for A, for B, for C. That's all. Simple. See what they have done. Total production overhead 26 lakh, and then number of units given to you, product A, product B, product C. On the basis of ABC, this amount will be apportioned like this: stores, receiving, inspection, dispatch. They have done it in ratio. I told you already, there is no standard format that you have to do ABC rate only. You can do it ABC rate also. You will get the same answer. Don't worry. At the end, you will get this number only: 150.49, 124.25, 123.67. We also did one question in this basis only, no? Correct? I think 7th or 8th question. We also did rent equal ratio, depreciation equal ratio, all of that we have done. Yeah, they can also present it in ratio. No sir, I want to do in ABC rate only, working note format only. Can I do? Please do. No problem, nothing wrong. Your working note 1 and 2 may differ, but final answer will be same. They will not deduct marks, don't worry. I know some students will have this worry also. Costing and FM, these are the two papers where you do not have a very standard format as such. Correct? Only in that non-integrated accounting for the ledgers, and that too ledger is because of accounts, we have to follow ledger format. Otherwise, formats are quite flexible. Okay, don't worry too much about strict format. As long as reader can understand and interpret in the same way in which you want him to interpret, that's more than enough. That's the only condition. What you are trying to say and what he will be understanding from your answer, because only your answer sheet will go, you won't go, no? Correct? That means whatever you want to convey, it should be conveyed. It can be in different way. He may be expecting row here, column. You may do it in a different way. Column and row may change. You may do chart, you may do table. He may be expecting it in columnar format. All that is fine. All that is fine. Getting it? Yes. Here they gave overheads first based on all the working. Then they said conversion cost. Conversion cost means material and labor. I would not suggest you write it as conversion cost this way. You show material and labor, because in costing, I say material only. They said material is one thing, labor plus overhead is called conversion cost. You will unnecessarily get confused. I know in process costing, in some places in ICA material, they have given material cost plus conversion cost. There they say conversion cost means labor and overhead. Here they are saying conversion cost material plus labor. So by the way, this is a RTP question. I have not made any changes. I have just copied from there. I just wanted to show you how it is presented in their answer. Not to worry, if you present in your format also, ultimately answers will match. Don't worry too much about your way of presentation and their way of presentation. This is not a schedule. This is not as per any act. So there is no strict standard format. Got it? Right. Next, I have few more problems. HMB Limited is producing in 10 batches, each of 15,000 units in a year, and incurring following overheads: procurement, maintenance, setup, quality control. All numbers are given. Okay, good. Prime cost means what? Direct material and direct labor. Together they have given. Fantastic. No problem. The company is using currently the method of absorbing overhead on the basis of prime cost. That means as of now, they are estimating overhead on the basis of prime cost. Now it wants to shift to activity-based costing. Information relevant to activity drivers are given to you. Number of purchase orders, maintenance, number of setup, and number of inspection. Okay, all numbers are given to you. Simple. The company has produced a batch of 15,000 units and incurred 2,638,700 and 375,200 on material and wages respectively. If you add both, you also get prime cost. Right, sir. Usage of activity is given to you. Material order, maintenance time, setup, and inspection. What more you want? Everything is there with you. Question. This is a question paper problem for 10 marks. Find out cost of product per unit on the absorption costing basis for said batch. Absorption costing is the present practice that they have. What is their present practice? They want to estimate overhead on the basis of prime cost. Sir, LHR we know, MHR we know. What is this overhead on the basis of prime cost? Simple. This is an easier method than labor hour rate and machine hour rate. You find out how much is total overhead. you find out how much is prime cost. Find out a percentage between that. Sir, what do you mean by that? Suppose overhead is 60 rupees. Prime cost is 100 rupee. You just do 60 by 100 into 100, you get 60%. Now, what is the meaning of 60% here? Overheads are 60% of prime cost. I repeat, overhead divided by prime cost into 100. You establish a relationship between those two. 60%. What is the meaning of that? Overheads are 60% of prime cost. Correct? That's what they are doing as of now. So, sir, that means you need overhead and you need percentage. Correct. Sir, prime cost is already given. Oh, okay, sir, understood. That means you first have to do the total of this. Correct? That will be overhead. Numerator. Denominator is prime cost, which is already given, into 100. You will establish one percentage. Correct? And then you will have to find out cost of this product. For this product or this batch of 15,000 units, material given, labor given. If you take direct material 2638,700, direct labor this number, you will get prime cost. Now you need to add overhead. You have calculated the percentage already now. Apply that percentage on prime cost. That will be the overhead. Prime cost plus overhead will be your total cost. See what they have done. They said first, we will calculate overhead absorption rate. How did they get this? This is total of the overheads. Total overheads given in table 1. Table 1. Divided by prime cost. This is given after the table. Into 100. Into 100 is not mentioned here. You do it. You get 17.1847%. You can round it off. No problem. Okay. Sir, what is the meaning of 17.18%? Overhead is equal to 17.18% of prime cost. Now, for this particular batch, material given, labor given, add both, you get prime cost. Now apply this percentage on prime cost, you get overheads. Add all of that, divide by number of units, you get cost per unit. Doable. Answers are with you. Don't worry about calculating now. Keep the calculator aside. Yeah. Focus on the explanation. You can do this later also. So I first identified percentage, total to total overhead, total prime cost. I got one link between the two. Apply that link for this particular batch. Calculate prime cost for this batch. Apply the percentage. Done. Right, sir. Let me go back. What is sub question 2? Determine cost driver rate, total cost per unit of the same batch using ABC. That means now I have to do working note, correct? To calculate cost driver rates. See, they have done the working note here. Procurement, maintenance, setup and QC. This is your numerator. This is your denominator. If you divide this, you can also present it in this way. We did numerator by denominator. You can also present it this way. This is numerator already here. Denominator divide. You will get cost driver rate, or you can write it as ABC rate also. You got 1500, 190, 304, 189. You can round off. I have told you. If you round off, remember, final answer may not exactly match. That's okay, because you know the reason for differences, rounding off. And then they prepared a cost sheet. Material labor will be same up to prime cost. Purchase, maintenance, setup and quality control. You observe 1500 is here, 810, 40 and 25. Sorry, this, I think this is additionally they have done. I don't think this extra working note is needed. You see here, 22,50,000 by 1500. They are doing it again. That means this is not needed only. I don't think this kind of presentation is required. You have already got 1500 now. Correct? Just multiply that by the cost driver. This is material procurement. Let me scroll up. Material procurement. What is the cost driver? Material orders. How many orders? 48 orders. Just multiply this by 48. I think the way they have presented is little lengthy way. Unnecessary. So just do 48 into 1500. That's what they have also done. Don't get confused by this 1500 and this 1500. Yeah, so you can do it in your way, don't worry. You will get the total cost divided by number of units. You will get cost per unit. You don't worry about how they have presented. I've told you how to do. We solved 8 questions, and this practice questions another 4 or 5. You will get to know the working notes, the flow. Correct? Final answer you check, that should match, right? See, they have not asked any comments or your inputs, etc. They did not ask whether company should follow old method, new method. So nowhere in the answer you are seeing any extra comment, because it's not asked. You don't have to write. If they ask, you need to write, and I've already shown how to write when asked, right? Chalo, one more question. Question number 5. PQR Pens Limited manufactures 2 products, gel pen and ball pen. It furnishes the following data for the year 2017. Product, output, machine hours, total number of purchase orders, total number of setups, gel pen, ball pen. Units given, all details are properly given. Annual overheads are also given to you. Volume related activity, setup related activity, purchase related activity. Now, some students will get confused by this word volume related activity. The moment you see volume, we take quantity as the basis, correct? But they've given based on machine hours. Why they had to give this? Understand, when I have to produce more number of units, obviously machine hours will also be more. I repeat, though they use the word volume related activity, then they are saying based on machine hours, not based on units. What must be the logic? Maybe the logic is, if you produce more units, if the volume goes up, machine hours also will go up. More units, more hours. Therefore they said do it on machine hours basis. That means not this, you have to do by this. Clear? Setup cost, number of setups given here. Purchase related cost, number of purchase orders. Very simple problem. Calculate the overhead cost per unit of gel pen and ball pen on the basis of traditional method, that is either MHR or LHR, ABC. Find out the difference between the two. Here you observe, they said traditional method. They did not say whether it is LHR or MHR or as a percentage of prime cost. They have not mentioned. Maybe they want you to decide. Okay, sir. If you want to do on LHR basis, numerator will be total overheads. How much is total overheads? Sir, if I add all the 3, I will get total overheads. Perfect. Numerator ready. Denominator is labor hours, because you are saying LHR. Do you have labor hours anywhere in the question? Just check. No, sir, we don't have. That means indirectly they said you cannot use LHR. Next options are MHR. For that, numerator is same, but denominator is machine hours. Do you have machine hours? Yes, sir, I have. That means this total will be numerator, this total will be your denominator. Following, that will give you MHR. Sir, percentage of prime cost. Where is prime cost in the question? Nowhere you have material, labor information. That means only possible option is MHR. See what they did. They did not give you whether it is LHR or MHR. They made you to decide. They wanted you to decide. Sir, one doubt, sir. What doubt? Sir, what if in exam they give us total labor hours also? Then whether to go by LHR or MHR, then up to you. You can choose one out of the two and give a note. You can give a note saying that it can be worked out either under machine hour or under labor hour. I have done it under labor hour. You work out your answer. Correct? Don't worry. They will not create such a situation. I'll tell you why. If they create such situation, then half of the students will do on machine hour basis, half of them will do on labor hour basis. Then the evaluator will have to keep 2 answer sheets, 2 suggested answers, because under LHR answer may be different, under MHR answer may be different. Why will they create that extra problem to themselves? Therefore, don't worry about it. This will not happen. This will not happen. They will give you whether it is MHR or LHR. When they don't give you in the question, they will give you only MHR or only LHR. Then it is obvious you have to go under that method only. See what they have done. First they said traditional method, number of units, overhead, refer working note, overhead rate. Here total overheads, numerator, denominator total machine hours, I told you how they got. Then they got rate 20, and that 20 they have multiplied by number of machine hours. They got 4,80,000 by 5,500, they got per unit. Same story for ball pen also. Okay sir. Second sub question is activity based costing. For that you have to do working note. They have done it in ratio, I told you already. Volume related, setup related, purchase related. Cost driver, total amount in this ratio, and then you have the total divided by number of units. Doable. Then they wanted you to show the difference also. Therefore third sub question, overhead as per traditional method, overhead as per ABC method, and then the difference. I've already told you these two differences need not tally. Minus plus should not be equal to 0, need not be equal to 0. Don't worry about it, just show the cost difference. No comment, nothing is necessary, so you don't have to worry about all of that. Clear? Did you all understand? Right. So with this we are done with the chapter. So I solved 8 questions, and then we did about 5-6 old question paper RTP problems also. I will discuss one more problem from the latest RTP that we have. Okay, so let me just open RTP for you. Latest RTP, that is November 20. Yes, here let me go to activity based costing. You can practice this today. Yes, here I have activity based costing. KD Limited is following activity based costing. Budgeted overhead, cost drivers and volumes, everything is given in single table. 5 cost pools: material procurement, handling, maintenance, setup and quality control. All amounts are given, cost drivers also given, budgeted volume also given. That means for the working note, numerator is available, denominator is also available. Good. Next, what else are they saying? The company has produced a batch of 7,600 units. That's okay. Material cost given, labor cost given. Overheads you have to calculate, that is based on ABC. Usage activities of the said batch is also given. 56 orders, 84 movements, 1420 maintenance hours, 60 setup, 18 inspection. So you just have to do here 18,42,000 divided by 1,200. You will get cost driver rate, and that you should multiply by number of orders. 56. Same way second one 84, third one, fourth one, fifth one. Simple. What is the question? You are required to calculate cost driver rate. Basically they said working note 1, that we will anyway do. Second, calculate the total and unit cost. Total cost means what? You have to take first material. Here 24, 62, 000. Material cost is here. Yeah. Then labor cost 468, 500. Correct. Then overhead cost, which you will get from the working note. Question, read second sub question says calculate the total cost. By doing this you will get the total cost. They also want unit cost. That means you will have to divide it by number of units. 7,600 units they are saying, given already. So total cost by 7,600, you will get the answer as well. Very, very easy question. Let's see what they have done in the answer. Just a minute. Where is the answer? Right here. First they said we will work out cost driver rates. I told you overhead divided by cost drivers, you get cost driver rate. That is done. And then they said we will work out the total cost. See this: material given, labor given, overheads 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different overheads, and then subtotal, total cost, divide by number of units, cost per unit 436.17. There cannot be an easier question than this in ABC. Okay, yes, this also I want you to practice after this video. Done? Right, that's all. With that, we have completed discussing all classwork problems, homework problems, and also the latest RTP question. Right? Okay, fine then. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.